As I start this painting, I'm drawing inspiration from a centuries-old tradition of still life painting, particularly from the Dutch Golden Age of the 17th century. Painters like Peter Claes often used simple objects, water vessels, plates, and other domestic vessels, not only as reflections of everyday life, but also as symbols of deeper spiritual truths. These humble objects were imbued with layers of meaning, reflecting ideas of purity, morality, and the connection between the material and the spiritual. In my painting, I've chosen to depict a white water vessel, plate shaped for washing, placed on a simple white table against a soft grey wall. In its simplicity, it echoes the quiet, reflective works of Claes and his contemporaries. Water, a universal symbol of cleansing and renewal, takes on profound spiritual significance in this context. It invites us to reflect upon the act of washing, not just as a daily routine, but as a symbolic purification of the soul. However, as I approach this painting, I'm combining this historical influence with a more experimental, modern approach. I begin by applying the paint with a palette knife. There's a boldness and immediacy in this technique, where the paint is laid down with a sense of structure and clarity, almost as if I'm sculpting the vessel onto the canvas. The edges are sharp, defined, reflecting the material world that these objects inhabit. Once the paint is on the canvas, the process shifts. I use a dry brush to gently soften these sharp edges, blurring the boundaries between objects and space. This technique, inspired by the Renaissance sfumato method used by Leonardo da Vinci, allows me to merge light and shadow, solid and air, creating a more ethereal, dream-like effect. The word sfumato means to evaporate like smoke, and the subtle blending of edges creates a sense that these objects are not fully anchored in the physical world. In this act of softening, I aim to evoke the spiritual transformation that this object represents. The white vessel, though simple and functional, becomes a symbol of purity and transcendence. The blurred edges suggest a fluidity that exists between the material and the spiritual. The blending of the modern and classic techniques creates a dialogue between the old and the new. The textures and layers of paint reflect the complexity of life itself, sharp and distinct in some places, and soft, blurred in others. Not unlike the boldness of the palette knife and the subtlety of the dry brush. The vessel represents the potential for cleansing and renewal. I hope to convey a sense of quiet reflection where the object is transformed from the mundane to the meditative. The white tones in the vessel symbolize purity, while the greys of the wall evoke a sense of calm, introspection, and reflection. In the end, the painting is as much about the process as it is about the final image. The merging of textures, the blurring of edges, and the soft play of light and shadow all contribute to a meditative, almost transcendental atmosphere. It is a reminder that in both art and life, simplicity often holds the greatest depth, and that the boundaries between the physical and the spiritual are more fluid than they seem.